Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to recreate one of these beautiful posters on swisted.com using Figma, which is a free design tool. Some of these are easier than others, so I'm going to start with probably the easiest one, which is going to be Bauhaus. All right, so I've actually provided some files. I've actually downloaded all those image files and also the font used for the website. You can download those by going, and this is the file you should download. Here it is. If you're using Mac, you just double click it and then you just click install font. After that, you'll want to open up Figma. And I also have all the images here. Actually, Bauhaus happens to be the first one. So one thing you might be wondering is how do I get this exact size? Well, the dimensions are actually listed right here. So we're going to do 716 by 1008. So I'm going over to Figma. Once you're in Figma, you're going to click New Design File. And I'm going to go ahead and drag the Bauhaus poster in. Here it is. All right, so I want to make a frame. And so I'm just going to drag the frame around this. And there it is. But you notice it kind of covers it up. So you'll want to drag this into frame. And it should be slightly indented. That shows that it's part of this frame. All right, so what I want to do is have kind of a side-by-side comparison. So I'm going to select this frame. You can either click it in the layers or click it right here. Press Command D. And then what I want to do is lock this version. So you can either hit Command L to lock it, or you can right-click it and choose Lock, or the universal tool command is Command/. And you'll just type lock. And there it goes. All right. So I think I actually hit the wrong key. All right, so now I can't drag this. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is type bow. So I'm going to press T for type, or actually go to the type tool up here. I'm going to click here and type BAU and then press escape. Now, obviously, this is too small. Your first instinct to try to scale this might be to just drag these, but you'll notice that doesn't work. You have to press K to go to the scale tool or choose it from up here. And then you drag the corner until it's roughly the right size. And then what I want to do is go over here. Inter is the default Figma font. If you choose semi-bold, you're going to get pretty close. And if you're not aiming for perfection, that's fine. But we are going to choose, it's not that, I have to look it up because I forget what it's called. Bertolt Accidents Grotesque. All right, so first I'm going to match up the B and then maybe scale it up and down a little bit. All right, now the size is matched, but the spacing is off a little bit. So you can adjust that by going here to letter spacing and moving it like that. But they have individually kerned each letter. So if we want to be super anal, we can click between these two and then drag that so the U is correct. All right, so now we have our base. And then I'm going to duplicate this by either pressing Command D, or you can hold Option and drag down. And so I'm just going to match up the A. You can also nudge it into place pixel by pixel by pressing the up and down, left and right arrow keys on the keyboard. All right, so to match this, I'm going to change this to black by selecting that, or you can just drag it down to the corner here. And then I'm going to adjust the opacity. So before I change the type, I'm going to try to get it to match pretty roughly. It looks like maybe I'm going to round it to 35. And then I'm just gonna type house. Again, we need to do the kerning, so I'm gonna adjust that one right there. And it looks like we're pretty spot on. So just so we can make sure we're totally accurate, I'm gonna turn off this, and then I'm going to click on the frame itself, and I wanna match this exact shade of rusty tangerine orange. So I'm gonna go to fill, click that little white square, click the eyedropper, and then click on that. And now we have the exact color. I'd say that's pretty close. Mine might be just slightly lighter, so I might just adjust it up and down with the arrow keys until it's close. All right, so we're about halfway there. So now I'm going to turn the original layer back on, and I'm just going to duplicate. Actually, I'm going to duplicate the white layer, and then I'm going to scale it down. So remember K. Downsize it. Also in Figma, you can zoom in and out by pressing plus and minus. You can also move your screen around by holding down the space bar and dragging. All right, so I'm gonna adjust this. I'm gonna type @marble bar and press K. And I'm just gonna match the A first. And it's automatically adjusting the font size here. So I'm going to get it right about there. And then we're just going to adjust the line spacing, the letter spacing. That's close enough for me. So I'm going to hold Option and drag down. Again, you can also hit Command D or Control D. And then I'm going to type 306 West Franklin Street. Duplicate it again. Baltimore, Maryland. All right. Next, we are going to do this one. And actually, this looks like they might be using a thinner font. But in this case, I'm going to take, actually, this will be easier. I'm going to duplicate this one, and then I'm just going to, for fill, I'm going to choose this right here from art history. All right, so I'm going to double click, Sunday. Maybe that was just an illusion. I think it is the same weight. November 28th. 1982. All right, duplicate it again. A mass production. And so now we can turn this off. We see them side by side, and it should be looking pretty identical. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.